Welcome everyone to today's video here at GKS of Ivory Bridge Limited. We've got a very special video here for you today. We're going to be taking the BMW X6 30D XDrive out for a little bit of a test drive. Now, before we get into the car, let's have a look a little bit more in depth with the exterior as well as interior. Now guys, this is a 2017 BMW X6 3.0 XDrive 30D M. Now, this car is a 4-door BMW and also goes up to around 250 brake horsepower. Before we carry on with the video guys, if you have any more questions or any more information you'd like to find out about the car or any other cars that we have in stock, then by all means head over to our website at gkscarsales.co.uk. We can also give us a call on this number right here. And not only that, if you're not following our Facebook, YouTube, TikTok or any of the other social medias, by all means go check them out down below. Right, I think it's about time we actually have a look at the car and, you know, give it a bit of a test drive. Now, let's talk about more of the inside before we go and actually test the performance of the car. Now we have a digital display, not actually an analog or dials and things like that. They are dials there, however, as soon as you turn on the car, all the lights turn on and everything at your disposal and display is kind of there. It shows up with all the different things and the gadgets. Now obviously on these buttons on the side here where your indicators are, it allows you to then actually go through all the different modes and different settings. So right now it's telling me how many miles per hour is my average miles per hour. We've got the miles left in the car, which is really cool. So it definitely tells you all the information that you need to know. It's a built-in computer, which actually allows you to know exactly what is going on internally of the car. Now we do have automatic windscreen wipers. These are heated as well, so it definitely helps when you're spraying your car. We've also got front and rear electric windows here in the back, which most cars do, but some don't. Obviously, because this is a bigger truck, there's a lot more spec to it. And then also right in front of it here, we can actually open up the boot. Now, can we close it from here? No. Now, the first thing I find that in most BMWs nowadays is actually a push to start. So as soon as you put your foot on the actual clutch or brake, if it's an automatic, which this is, so we'll be putting our foot on the actual brakes, push the button, everything starts up. We actually have a touchscreen heads-up display which has all the multi-functions. You can have like a little screensaver for it as well for the clock dial. And the media and radio, obviously when you want to connect to your car, play your own music. Spotify is actually connected to the car. You have communications, which is obviously takes all your information from your actual Android or iPhone, takes all the calls and also all the contacts that you need to know and have on your car, so you don't have to go looking for your phone. Now also we have navigation, so a lot of cars they come with different specifications in BMWs. This obviously being a bigger truck and a higher spec car, there is all these different things that kind of go into the car. So we have our front and rear sensor parking sensors, as well as a rear parking camera as well. So once you put it in reverse, this car will then display on the actual touchscreen. Not only that, we actually have a My Vehicle, which basically tells you a bit more in depth with what is going on with the car, whether you have low tire pressure, whether you need to change your oil, and also to do with all the different lights, sounds, and different information, and also your performance going into the car, which is really, really handy. And it's definitely a lot more less hassle to then figure out what your car is doing, and you actually have more in depth with your car telling you what is going on, which is really, really cool. Down here, we actually have obviously our parking sensor button, which obviously allows you to get up your display of your surrounding area. So if you're trying to drive forward and you want to figure out how close you are driving forward, your sensors will obviously pick that up, as well as your rear as well. We have our comfort mode, we have our sport mode, and we also have Eco Pro, and then you have your Sports Plus, which is more of like taking the traction control off and so on. We have aircon in here, and it is a dual aircon, which is really, really handy, especially on a hot day like today. You can definitely have that aircon going on at low temperature and keep yourself cool, as well as the passenger next to you. Not only that, we've actually got heated seats on either side, the passenger and driver side, which is really, really cool. And we've got a multi-function steering wheel here, which also allows you to take calls, also speak to your Siri, so you have a microphone just up here as well. We have the ability to turn down and turn up music, and we've also got the capability with cruise control on our steering wheel as well, which is really, really cool, as well as our gear shifts, which are our gear paddles here on the side. Right, without further ado, let's see how this car drives. Now, this being an automatic BMW, don't have to worry about a clutch, don't have to worry about gear changing and things like that. If you want to feel that gear change, obviously you've got the paddles on the side of your driving steering wheel, you've got all your actual gear shifts right there, which is really, really handy. Now guys, what's really handy about this, obviously it's a bigger car, so you were probably expecting it obviously to be a lot wider, a lot longer, but while you're up here, it doesn't seem too bad. It feels like you're just driving a normal BMW, just a little bit higher up. And the steering is really, really comfortable, really smooth. BMW do a really good job with their cars with steering. If you put it in comfort mode or eco mode, the steering wheel does loosen up a little bit, but when you put it into sport mode, if you want to have a bit more of an exciting sort of drive and go a bit faster, the excitement, and put it in sports mode, it stiffens up the steering wheel a little bit just to allow you to have a little bit more control of that actual grip of the car and the wheel, and a bit more feel to the actual car itself, which is really, really nice. Really nice touch to the car. Now, like I said, this car is a very big car, so having a lot of luggage to put in the boot, there is so much space in the back seats. There's so much space in the actual boot as well. And when you take the back seats down, I think you have around 70 litres worth of storage, which is absolutely insane how much space that actually is inside a car. We'll see what the actual modes do, especially if you can feel a difference when you put it in sport mode as well as comfort mode. Now we've got a 60 mile an hour here. What we'll do is I'll shift down to sports mode. Now straight away, as soon as I press that sport mode button, it literally kicked into a different shift, different gear, and then also stiffened up the steering wheel just slightly enough. Right, there's a guy here so what we're going to do is just see how fast it can go up to 60 and if it responds quite well. Sounds nice as well. Honestly, this car is amazing to drive. If you look at the touchscreen, the dash itself, all the leather going on in the car, the leather seats, which are all heated as well. This is Dakota leather, which I'm sitting in right now, which is really, really comfortable, really smooth, really squidgy as well. I would say it's got a lot of padding, but at the same time, it's really like, you can really sink into your seats, which makes the experience of sitting in long car journeys as well, when you're going for long trips or anywhere in this sort of car, you don't feel achy, you don't feel sore. When you get out of the car, you're like, oh, thank God. I would definitely recommend this car. Fuel-wise, it's really good on fuel, and you get really everything with it, which is really nice. And obviously, with the voice recognition, you can actually allow that with Apple CarPlay, and it will connect straight from your phone and then display everything that's on your phone onto your screen. We don't have that for this car, but what it does allow you to do is that you can play your music from it, you can take calls, you can turn up the volume when you need to, you can take certain calls, so all of that sort of being touched on the dash here will have all the entries of all your calls literally come up in front of you on your dash, which is really, really nice. For me, this car is the perfect family car. You know, there's a lot of room, there's a lot of space, but also the comfort that you can have in this car, as well as having an enjoying car. You can enjoy this for what it has and all the different sort of specs that go into the car, which is really, really nice. Obviously the different buttons and the gear changing on the steering wheel, which is also really cool. The heads-up display, that is all digital as well. And also for the passenger, they have all the access to, you know, play the different types of music that is on the phone, or, you know, deal with the navigation instead of the actual driver, which is actually really incredibly useful. Not only that, you have all these different compartments that actually are all put in here, which is obviously you have your USB cables, you have your aux cable to listen to different music if you really want to connect it in a different way with your phone instead of using the Bluetooth. So there's several different ways of actually connecting your phone to the car. With the lights, they're being LED lights, so they do actually come on automatically. There is obviously a little toggle on the side here which actually allows you to turn them on and off. Whether it becomes dark at night or a bit foggy and stuff like that, it obviously activates those sort of things. So turning on that automatic light will then allow your car to actually react when it's either darker. Your car will actually respond and turn on the automatic LED lights for you, which is really good as well. Now, me personally, I would definitely recommend you buying this car, because for me, I'm the sort of person that actually likes having smaller cars, but for me on this sort of trip and for me driving this sort of car, I can definitely say that I'm a lot more comfortable now of driving trucks or bigger cars on the road instead of feeling like I can only drive smaller cars. And this definitely gives you that comfort feel of not feeling a little bit intimidated by driving a bigger car. Now, if you guys did enjoy this little test drive, then by all means hit that like button, follow us on our social medias, comment down below if you would like to see more and what other cars you would like to see. Now, if you want to have any more conversations with us or want to know more about the cars or the cars that we have in stock, by all means head over to our website, gkscarsales.co.uk, and also give us a call on that number as well. My name's Mitch. Hope you guys enjoyed the test drive.